Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my top 5 series. If you don't know what this series is, it's basically me uploading a video every single Wednesday telling you guys some sort of top 5 list from my little theme park mind. I just want to say before we get into this video that sorry that my makeup's a little bit of a mess. I mean, it's not too much of a mess, but you know the drill by now. And it's also like 25 degrees outside, so I am sweating right now. I feel so horrible, and my room is so small, so it's very like stuffy in here and stuff, and I can't have the fan on because it will just make too much noise. And I can't open a window because all the flies and wasps and stuff are gonna come in, so I'm literally dying right now. But I'm gonna pull through to film these videos for you guys. So welcome back to my top 5 series. Today's top 5, I thought I would take a little throwback, a little trip down memory lane, and these are my top 5 childhood parks. Ever since I was like a 4-year-old, I have been going to theme parks quite a lot. I mean, with these being childhood parks, the majority of them are like kids parks and stuff, and I don't have anything like Pleasure Beach on here. For once in my life, I don't have anything to do with Pleasure Beach on this list. But yeah, these are rides. These are parks that I used to go to when I was little. I always used to go with my family. And yeah, I just thought I would share these parks with you guys. It's just, I don't know, I feel like it's quite nice to relive your childhood, especially as you get older. Life gets a lot harder and you kind of wish you were back to being a little 6-year-old, which right now I really wish I was, but never mind. So let's jump straight in because this is going to be a very long video. Also, if I keep on looking down, it's because I have all of my notes in my notebook, which looks like this, and it has this little embroidered notes in gold embroidered into it. So, and I've written down all of my notes. This is spread across 1.5 pages, so I mean, I've got a lot to get through. So these aren't in any particular order, by the way, because I mean, who remembers what their first ever theme park? Not me. So yeah, so the first theme park I have on my list, and this is probably the one that I used to visit the most out of all of these. This is Twin Lakes theme park. Twin Lakes is located in Melton Mowbray, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Melton Mowbray, I think. Opened in September 2003, so it's not actually that old, which is crazy. And is a kids park, hence why it's one of my childhood parks. So I always used to go to Twin Lakes as a child. I never stopped going until the age of like 12, 13. I kind of outgrew it as I got older because, you know, it is a kids park. They only have like kids rides and stuff. So yeah, every single Saturday after I'd finished dance school, I used to finish dance at like 10:30, 11ish back then. Now I finish at like 12:30, but back then I finished at like 11ish. So straight after dance school, me and my dad always used to go over to my nan's house, and me, my nan, my brother and my dad always used to go to Twin Lakes all together. It only took us like 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and so we always used to get there for around 12ish, and I think the park closed at like 5 or 6. And then we'd always get back for like 7ish. So it was a really good day out. I really enjoyed Twin Lakes. Like every time I went as a child, I always enjoyed it. There wasn't like one time that we went to Twin Lakes and I just didn't enjoy it, because it's just full of memories for me. When I was a child, I loved all of the rides. There wasn't one ride that I was scared of apart from the pirate ship, which I hated. But apart from that, I loved all the rides. There was always something to do. They have this massive play area which you can go into. They have a boat ride, like a little, it's kind of like Dora's World Voyage, but worse. But they do have some really good theming around that ride. They have a little train ride. They have the Buffalo, which I think used to be at American Adventure, but I'm not too sure, but I swear it did. So yeah, they had the Buffalo, which back then was like my favourite coaster of all time. Like nothing could beat the Buffalo for me. So yeah, I loved the Buffalo. They also had this like flat ride, which I've never seen anywhere else before, but it's basically like a flying coaster, but it's in a flat ride, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to explain it, but if I can find a video of it, I'll link it in the description box, because it was a really enjoyable flat ride. And even though it was kids park, I feel like that ride was more of like a family slash thrill ride, so I don't know. But yeah, they had plenty of rides, plenty of things to do. They had the little farm enclosure, they had a pirate ship, they had a little apple coaster. So yeah, there was always something to do, whether it was rainy or sunny. If it was rainy, you could just go into the play area because it was indoors, it was massive, like it was crazy. But if it was nice and sunny, if it was too warm, you could, also they had a log flume as well, so you could go on the log flume, go on the coaster. They had an assault course, like they just had the whole package. And I feel like if I was a 6-year-old right now, I would be at that park at this moment in time. It wasn't like that expensive to get into. I feel like it was around 40 to 45 pounds for a family of 4, which isn't bad at all considering what we actually got out of it. I don't know why we just didn't get an annual pass, because like a family annual pass, because we literally went like every other weekend, which is crazy. And I'm very, very, very grateful that I managed to go to Twin Lakes as much as I did, because I feel like if it wasn't for Twin Lakes, I wouldn't be a theme park enthusiast now, and I wouldn't have discovered all these amazing other theme parks. And also thanks to my family, because if my family didn't take me, then again, the same reason, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be visiting theme parks, which, I mean, for my family is probably a good thing because it means that I don't have to spend money, but to me, you know, yeah. So yeah, Twin Lakes, definitely a childhood park for me. It was probably my favourite place in the whole world, like when I was a little kid. Like, I don't know, I just loved it. And also my mum also came with us sometimes as well. I also used to go with like my uncle and auntie sometimes. Yeah, it was a really good childhood park for me, and it just holds so many memories. I really wish that I was like vlogging back then, because I mean I was only like 10 years old, but you know, it would have been good for the memories. Also, another amazing thing about Twin Lakes is the Buffalo was the first ever coaster I ever went on in my entire life. So it's thanks to the Buffalo that I now go on coasters like the big one, and I mean, not really Millennium because Buffalo didn't go upside down, but you know, like it's thanks to the Buffalo that I love coasters now, because if the Buffalo wasn't there, then I would have never been on a coaster to this day, probably. So yeah, that's crazy that the Buffalo is my first ever coaster. And I mean, now it does look a little bit like it's on its way out, but you know, like it's just a really special park to me, a really special coaster to me, and it has so many amazing memories there for me. And yeah, I don't know, I could just talk about it all day long, but yeah, Twin Lakes is definitely an amazing childhood park for me, and I actually miss it quite a lot, but there's no point in going back because I would just find it boring now, because I'm too old to go in the play area. And you know, they do have like kids rides, they don't really have any like thrill rides. So yeah, but Twin Lakes is definitely a childhood park for me. If it wasn't for Twin Lakes, I wouldn't be where I am today, so thanks. So my next childhood park is Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island opened in 1995, located in Ingoldsmal, Skegness. and is more of an amusement park than a theme park. So yeah, I still go to Fantasy Island to this day. Like, I only went for my birthday, which was only like 3 weeks ago. So the fact that I'm still going to Fantasy Island now, and I've seen it kind of like develop into this really amazing place, is incredible, because I always used to go as a kid. It didn't take us very long to get there, so yeah, we used to go quite a lot, and it wasn't really that expensive, so you know, we could afford it and stuff. Me, my mum, my nan, my dad and my brother always used to go, and they were some of the most amazing days out of my entire life, still to this day. Yeah, I loved Fantasy Island as a kid, though again, there was always something to do. Like, they had little kids rides for me, they had the more family slash thrill rides for like my dad, my brother, etc, etc. So yeah, I was never bored at Fantasy Island. Like, the amount of times we went, you'd think that I'd have got bored of it by now, but definitely not. There is always something to do. I can't speak. But yeah, I always used to go as a child. I have so many amazing memories there. And when I was a child, they did have like the little indoor pyramid bit, but it was very like run down and not really like that great. But now obviously Mellis Group have taken over, so they've done an amazing job with Fantasy Island now, because like, they've put lighting in, and they have the magical show thing, and it's just very immersive, and they have audio, and it's just so much better than it was when I went as a child and when I went in like 2014 and stuff. Yeah, they've done an amazing job with Fantasy Island, and I'm so glad that Mellis Group took over, because if they didn't, Fantasy Island would, I mean, it would probably be closed down today, and that would have made me really sad. They did go into administration, which when I read about it literally broke my heart, because like, Fantasy Island, it's a childhood park for me. I don't want to see it go anywhere. I don't want to see any rides get taken out. I don't want to see it closed down. I just want to see Fantasy Island improve and improve and improve. And I feel like as the years have gone on, Fantasy Island has definitely improved, like, so much. It's actually ridiculous. They've put new rides in, they have audio, lighting, yeah, they have the whole package. And also, it's been amazing for me to go to Fantasy Island as a kid, always being scared of the big rides like Millennium and Odyssey and Volcano and stuff like that. And now going like 10 to like 12 years later, going and being able to ride things like Millennium and Volcano, and I mean, I haven't ridden Odyssey yet, but you get the idea. So yeah, I feel like I've come really far with Fantasy Island. I feel like me and Fantasy Island have definitely been on this like journey together. I feel like Fantasy Island has definitely made me who I am today. They have my second favourite coaster there, which is Millennium, an amazing coaster. And every time I go, it just always reminds me of my childhood, which I love. I always find it so emotional going to Fantasy Island, because like, my nan isn't with us anymore, sadly, and we were really close, and she's the one that always used to, like, I mean, my dad like drove us there, but I don't know, like, my nan always made it like really fun, and she'd come on like the little family rides with me, while my dad and brother would go off to like all the other rides and stuff. So every time I go to Fantasy Island, it always reminds me of my nan, which makes me really emotional, but it makes me like quite happy that like we've been on this journey. And my nan is probably, every time I go to Fantasy Island, my nan is probably looking down on me, and I feel like she'd be happy that I'm like still going to that park and I'm having fun. So yeah, Fantasy Island, I feel like I'm gonna get really emotional now, but like, Fantasy Island, an amazing childhood park for me. Again, we've just been on this journey together, and if it wasn't for that journey, I wouldn't be here today. So yeah, I'm gonna move on before I start crying. So my next childhood park is sadly not with us anymore. It's sadly shut down. It's just been abandoned. You know, it's not great. But it's American Adventure. So this was located in Derbyshire, which is where I live. Well, I live in Derby, but you know, it was only like 5 minutes away, so I have a really itchy armpit. It was only like 5 minutes away, so it was like, you know, super easy to get to. It opened in 1987 and then closed in 2007. So 10 years ago it closed. Oh my god, that's insane. Now I can't really like remember much about this park, because I mean, we didn't go as much as we did to like Fantasy Island and Twin Lakes and stuff, but we did go occasionally. And I remember actually going, I think it was like in 2007, maybe like late 2007, and I don't think we knew that the park closed down. So we went to Adventure Island, we were all set, ready to go. We left and, oh my god, someone just commented on my video saying I'm a knob. Thanks, you too. Yeah, we were all set off, ready to go, and we got there and it was just closed, abandoned, closed, nothing there, like, and we were just like, what? Like, what's going on? So we drove back home and then researched the fact that it closed down, which is absolutely insane. And we were all just so sad. Like, my brother was sad, I was sad, my family was sad, like, because it was just a really good childhood park for us, and we used to go like pretty much all the time, so it was really sad to see it closed down. And it was the only good thing about Derby, the fact that Derby actually had something to do. Derby now, shithole. Like, it's just the most chavviest, boringest place ever. They don't have any rides, no theme parks, nothing to do. Like, no, it's a pile of shit. So I've written down some of the rides that American Adventure used to have, because like I said, I can't really remember it that well, and we only went like occasionally, but I do remember it being a childhood park for me, so you know, that's why it's in this video. So they used to have the Missile, which is now Wipeout at Pleasurewood Hills, and that is manufactured by Vekoma, which is my favourite manufacturer. They had a ride called Twin Looper, which was a double loop roller coaster, and they had the Buffalo Coaster, which is now at Twin Lakes, and that was manufactured by Zamperla. So I mean, I love the fact that the Buffalo got moved to Twin Lakes, because it was like, oh, just bang the wall. But I love the fact that, yeah, like, Buffalo went from American Adventure, so it was like, oh no, bye bye Buffalo, and then it just got moved to Twin Lakes, and it was like, oh my god, it's here, it's at Twin Lakes, like, we don't have to say goodbye to it. Oh my god, my first ever coaster that I've ever been on is still here to this day, like, it's still at Twin Lakes. Oh my god, that's amazing. So yeah, I'm really glad Buffalo got moved to Twin Lakes. I don't know about the Twin Looper, that probably just got closed down and dismantled. And the fact that Missile is now Wipeout at Pleasurewood Hills, yeah, Pleasurewood Hills. So good going, you know. They obviously did have like many more rides, but these are the only ones that I could find. So yeah, American Adventure had this like kind of cowboy western type theming going on. They had some really good theming, some really good rides. I feel like they did have more thrill rides than they did like kids rides, hence why we only went like occasionally, but you know, like, it was still a good day out and we still really enjoyed ourselves, and it's just really sad that that park isn't there anymore. But yeah, American Adventure. Every time I think of this park, I always want to say Adventure Island, because I don't know, it feels like, it sounds like Adventure Island, but it's not, it's American Adventure. So yeah, American Adventure, really sad that it's closed down, but I feel like most of the rides have got moved to different parks, which is a good thing. But yeah, American Adventure, an amazing childhood park for me. So my fourth childhood park, and well, not my fourth, but the fourth one I have on my list is Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. Now we only visited here like once or twice, but I do remember going as a child, and every time I watch a Theme Park Worldwide vlog of Great Yarmouth, it always brings me back to my childhood. So this park opened in 1909, which is insane. Like, that is very old. And I've written down some of the rides as well, which I'll go into in a minute. So this is basically your kind of standard seaside amusement park. Theming isn't really like the best, and I think they have one of the oldest coasters in the world there called Roller Coaster. Cool name. Oh no, the next door neighbours are blasting out music. Great. But yeah, just ignore that if you can hear it. Yeah, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, an amazing park for me as a child because they had the perfect rides for me. Not too thrilling, not too boring, just nice little kids rides, you know. I could just about handle them when I was a little kid. So I'll go into the rides because I feel like there isn't really much about to say. What? I'm not making any sense. There isn't much to say about this park because, like I said, I only went like once or twice. So rides include Roller Coaster, which I've just mentioned. This opened in 1932, which is very old, and is a wooden coaster, and this is one of the only coasters in the UK that requires a brakeman. It's not the only coaster, there are some other coasters too that require a brakeman, but not many do these days. So I love the fact that this coaster requires a brakeman. I just feel like it gives it that more kind of vintage feel. It makes it a little bit more special because it's such an old coaster. And when I went as a kid, I never went on this coaster because I was just too scared of it, and I mean, big coasters weren't really for me. But it does look like an amazing coaster, and if I went back I would definitely go on this coaster because it does look like an incredible coaster. So hopefully very soon I'll go back to Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach because I really do want to go back. It's just a matter of like time and money and stuff, but hopefully I will go back. If not this year, definitely next year. Like, I will make it happen because it's like actually not that expensive to get into anyway, so you know. So yeah, roller coaster. I've just completely messed up my hair. They also have a log flume which opened in 1989, and they have a Zamperla pirate ship, which isn't my fave because I hate pirate ships, but I thought I'd mention it, and that opened in 2001. So obviously they do have more rides than that, but if I went through all of the rides, this video would be like 40 minutes long, and I swear it's already like half an hour long. So yeah, not gonna go into too many rides about Great Yarmouth, but you know, like I will link all of these websites down below, apart from American Adventure because closed, so I don't have a website. But yeah, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, again, wasn't like a massive childhood park for me, but we did go like once or twice, and every time I watch a Theme Park Worldwide vlog, it always just racks up those childhood memories and kind of gets me a little bit emotional sometimes. So yeah, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, hopefully I will be returning there very soon. Yeah, I love that park, an amazing childhood park. I'm sweating. And my final childhood park is Gulliver's Kingdom at Matlock Bath. This opened in 1978 and is a children's park. It's aimed at children 3 to 13 years old. Sadly, I'm not 3 to 13 years old anymore. I really wish I was, but I'm not, so that's really sad. But yeah, Gulliver's Kingdom, again, we used to go here a lot. It isn't far from Derby at all. It's literally like 20 to 25 minutes away, so not long at all. We always used to go on like a little weekend, or if I had like an inset day from school, we'd always used to go then. My battery's flashing, so I have to be super quick. I can't remember a lot about this park, but I've written down some of the rides that they have. So they have a log coaster, which opened in 1986. It's steel, and I don't know this manufacturer, I've never heard of it before, but it's called Cavazza Diego. I don't know whether I'm saying that right, but this is basically what I got from the website. They also have another coaster called Switchback, I think, Switchback, which opened in 2004 and is a steel coaster. I've put IE Park. I don't know what that means. I probably should have explained that a little bit more, but IE Park, if that means anything to anyone, then let me know. And they had a chairlift, which opened in 1992, a pirate ship, which opened in 1992, which, if you ever go to Matlock Bath, if you ever park near the Gulliver's car park, you can literally just about see, and you can definitely hear the pirate ship, because it's kind of located on this like hillside, like not mountains. I was about to say it's located on a mountain. It's not. It's located on this like hillside, and the car park is literally just below it, so you can almost just about see the pirate ship, and you can definitely hear it because you can hear people screaming, you can hear the ride, you know, rocking back and forth. So yeah, that's a really fun thing about when you go to Matlock Bath. You can like kind of see it a little bit. They also have a double-decker carousel, which opened in 1993. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Gulliver's Kingdom. Again, this is kind of like Great Yarmouth. We didn't go as much as like Twin Lakes and Fantasy Island, but we did go quite oh god, I can't say this word. Regularly. That. So yeah, those were all of my childhood parks. I'm sorry that I rambled on for so long. I didn't intend for this video to be as long as it is, so I'm sorry about that, but comment down below your childhood park. What is the childhood park that made you love theme parks, and like what is the what is oh my god, I can't speak. What is the park that made you an enthusiast today? Because I'd really love to know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Sorry about all the interruptions and the mess and stuff like that. This video just is a whole mess, but I mean, that's basically my channel summed up in one, so there you go. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, love you.